Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. Happy New Year! We are officially entering 2022. So before we dive into the energies for 2022, for the collective and for each life path number, this is just a reminder that this is a great time for you to order your own personal year ahead numerology forecast. I will leave the link in the description box below if that's something that you're interested in, but it's a great resource to see what the upcoming energies may hold for you. So as we wave goodbye to the Universal 5 energy that had us shifting gears and changing directions so much that our worlds were often spinning all over the place, we now step into the more nurturing, domestic, and community-centered energy of the 6. 2022 is a 6 universal energy. So this cycle, this energy, is going to ask us to take into consideration the greater community and the good of all as we make our decisions and choose our actions. This is not an energy solely focused on self. The energy of 2020 sort of broke the foundations and forced us to be more isolated and reflective. The energies of 2021 were more about exploration and authenticity while building our personal worlds in a way that sort of is much more open-minded and adaptable to change. Now, 2022 is asking us to broaden our scope as we rebuild the world we want to experience while taking the collective into consideration. So what does this new world, that we're emerging into need that benefits more than just ourselves, but rather is inclusive of the needs of Mother Earth and all of her inhabitants? This is a cycle where divisiveness will no longer work. People are tired of the separation, and the energy is incredibly supportive for people to wake up and fully choose to build the bridges necessary to begin reuniting with friends, family, community, and the greater world at large. Regardless of how many people there are that still choose to cling to the old ways and who attempt to keep burning down those bridges, more and more people are going to sort of feel the need or the compulsion or the urge to move into a higher octave now and release the burdens of separation and chaos. There will always be polarities. We live in a world and a universe of polarities. However, for evolution to occur, we cannot remain in one extreme very long. The pendulum will always swing. And so on a more personal level, collectively, we will be seeing the influences of the 6 with an emphasis on home, life, relationships, and creativity. So again, we'll see that collectively, but also individually. So this can be a cycle when many changes take place within your home environment. Perhaps you change residence. Maybe people move in or out of your home at this time. You may do some remodeling. You may see changes within your physical home, your body. This can be a time when you undergo some major physical transformations, body, mind, and spirit. Creativity, you may see new inspirations come in this year that allow you to express yourself like never before and that ignite the fire within, bringing a renewed sense of balance, joy, and excitement into the world and the world around you. So what inspires you? Do more of that. Allow that flame to ignite and carry you places and inner depths that you never imagined yourself going to. Embrace your inner child and allow them to lead you uninhibited towards the unbridled joy. This is a year to absolutely say yes to what makes you happy without shame, without feeling the need to apologize for that happiness, even if others don't understand or even if they're shocked by your choices. Happiness and inspiration are contagious, so don't restrict how much of it you create for yourself, allow, within your life, and how much of that you share. This is an energy where we can see more people needing our help, our services, and our support at this time. You may see people coming out of the woodwork needing you at this time. Friends, family, loved ones, community members, clients, and so on. If we're capable of offering that support, then we will benefit from that circulation of energy. However, if we are not in the space physically, mentally, or spiritually to be able to meet those needs, then we must know when to set healthy boundaries and say no. This is very important because under the 6th energy, it can be very easy to sort of fall into martyrdom, which can lead to resentment, anger, frustration, and we sort of fall into a lower vibration then. This can be an energy where it's like you almost feel the urge to help people sort of to an extreme, if that makes sense. It's like where you're sacrificing yourself for another to be happy, which, you know, that just doesn't work in the long run. That's not sustainable. And so just be mindful of that. Make sure that you're keeping your equilibrium and your balance, and that you are first checking in with self to make sure that your cup is full before you are able to sort of meet those requirements or those needs of others. There's no shame in that. And it's actually recommended so that so it's a more sustainable energy. If we get to the point where we are feeling taken advantage of, we need to understand that there came a point where we should have said no. When we choose to say yes to things that we are not capable of supplying or meeting the requirements or the needs of, then we are self-sabotaging ourselves and sort of sabotaging the other person as well, whether we mean to or not. And so again, it's really, really important to make sure that we are setting those healthy boundaries, saying yes when we're capable of saying yes, saying no when we are not capable of saying yes. So if you see yourself starting to fall into those lower vibrations when it comes to offering or sharing your time, your energy, and your resources with others, please realize your cup is no longer full and it's time to replenish you before you step back into that role. And if somebody doesn't understand your need for self-care, then chances are they were only interested in your endless availability and accommodations. And perhaps it's a connection that's no longer serving you, and it's time for that relationship to expire or to create some distance for the time being while you rejuvenate yourself. So overall, this 6th cycle of 2022 can be incredibly beautiful, loving, rewarding, and a very creative period. This is such lovely, softer, nurturing energy from the last couple of years. But as always, in order to get the most out of this cycle, we must continue to maintain our own peace and harmony, even when that means having those difficult conversations to set those necessary healthy boundaries. So, okay, let's take a look now at the overall upcoming energy for your particular life path number. Life path number 7. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all for 2022, and you got mouse spirit. And so mouse is saying, tend to the small things. And so what I'm really getting from this is, so often we get these big ideas or these big goals and big lofty visions, right? And we become so focused on them and the bigger picture that we sort of overlook the finer details, the intricacies, the things that we need to pay attention to that contribute to the whole, that actually contribute to getting us to that goal, to fulfilling that vision, whatever the case may be. And so I feel like when it comes to relationships, career, work, whatever, purpose, self, make sure that you're slowing things down a little bit and you're paying attention to the finer details. You're not overlooking or in such a hurry that you are missing the important details. And that can be about like even how you relate to people, how you communicate, how you're showing up to relationships, whatever the case may be. It's kind of like take it in, like allow things to kind of come in a little bit and like really focus your energy onto those finer details. pay attention to the bigger picture, like stay focused on that as well, but slow it down enough to where you're not losing sight of the things that are important to the greater project, right? The greater outcome. And so I pulled the energy for the year ahead for you all, and I broke it down into 4 quarters. And so what's interesting is there's kind of a lot coming in for you sevens, but really what's interesting is the overall energy, I feel like, is you really building upon or creating some kind of bigger legacy here. You are either initiating or in the process of creating something that will benefit your children, your children's children, the greater community. This is really beautiful energy, and I see this as being very financially rewarding for you as well. So if this hasn't already come in for you, like the idea or whatever this is, then it probably will come in this year for you, and you need to pay attention to it. I do see you like working with other people on this. I don't see it as like a solo venture. I see it like a collaboration, networking, again, working with family, friends, loved ones, actually really the greater community. So meeting new people, building stronger bonds with people, whatever the case may be, but also this has an opportunity to bring you some substantial wealth through this as well. So that's kind of the overall. And so when we look at the 4 quarters, the very first quarter this is interesting because I'm really getting this call for balance, and for you to really go into sort of like more self-reflection mode during these first 3 months of the year. And this is gonna take some of your inner strength. Now I know that sevens are really good about self-reflection and contemplation and really being in touch with your inner self. So this won't be entirely difficult for you, but I'm seeing like this call for balance. So balance between the masculine and the feminine energies within, balance between the action and the desire for growth and expansion, and the stillness and allowing things to come to you through the silence. The balance between the knowing and the like knowledge and wisdom, and all of those things, yin and yang, day and night, right? Like all of these things. There's something that really needs to come in for you through sort of the more ethereal plane that is not going to come in through the hustle and bustle. This is very feminine energy. So there's a call here for stillness, but in that stillness, balancing your energies from within. And I do feel like there's going to be this could create a situation where you need to change direction. And that can go against sort of what you've known your whole life, or what other people are telling you should be doing, or the connections you've already made in life. You may be needing to shift gears here and change direction and move into something that is way outside of your comfort zone that you haven't experienced before. And I feel like you're going to have to pull from your inner strength to be able to do this, to make that decision. But and in order to get to that point to where you're ready to do so, I feel like you really need to kind of go within and really go into self-reflective mode for these first 3 months, because there's an opportunity coming in for you that your soul wants to say yes to, but your ego is afraid to say yes to. And so it's kind of like this inner struggle a little bit. And the call here is to really go with your soul, even though it's going to be more challenging than it would be if you stayed in the comfort zone of your ego, if that makes sense. So there, again, when we talk about that balancing, it's like the intuition, the inner knowing is trying to show you the direction that you're meant to move into, like the next step, but the ego might be holding you back. So we need to find common ground here. Allow the inner knowing, the soul, to be the compass and the ego to be the logistics to get you there. So definitely see like a little bit of inner struggle going on here, but nothing you can't handle. It's just you feeling confident enough and secure enough to say within yourself, to say yes to whatever this is, because again, this is a big thing. Like this is like a lifelong, not a lifelong commitment, but this is something that's like a turning point for you, and that has the potential to create some kind of legacy for you. in a really big way. Like it feels very soul aligned, purposeful. Let's put it that way. Like your soul came here for this purpose. Like this is a big mission type thing. You see what I'm saying? It's like this feels big, but then with that loftiness comes that fear of not being good enough, or I need to uproot my whole life for this. Or you see what I'm saying? Like with this saying yes to this comes a lot of, there could be the potential for a lot of fear as well. So I would just say, fall into your divine feminine, fall into the stillness, go with the intuition, follow that inner knowing, say yes to what your soul wants to say yes to, and know that you are very fully capable of doing this, whatever this is. And what's interesting is we move into the second quarter, and I really kind of see you still struggling with this. There's a lot of self-sabotaging energy coming in around this second quarter. This can be those thoughts that come in like, I'm not good enough, or you're overly critical of yourself, or you are taking the judgments of others personally, or you're integrating and digesting the outside influences to dictate to you what it is that you're meant to be doing, as opposed to following that inner knowing and really, against all odds, just saying yes to what your soul wants to say yes to. I see a lot of sort of challenging obstacles coming at you around that second quarter, but they are there to show you where you are self-sabotaging. They are there to highlight for you where it is that you are holding yourself back here, because I really get this feeling that nobody else is holding you back at this stage. It's you. With those self-defeating thought processes, right? With those self-defeating behaviors. And so this is going to be a time for you to look at and see, where am I forcing myself to stay within my comfort zone, even though my soul is urging me to step beyond that and try something new? Take a big leap of faith. Take a risk, even if that risk means losing some of the things that make me the most comfortable. Because our souls didn't necessarily come here to be completely comfortable and grow stagnant in this lifetime, right? Like we want that growth, we want that expansion. And so I feel like there's a lot of self-sabotaging energy here in this second part, but I feel like it's also within the stories that you're telling yourself. And they can be easily overcome. Well, I wouldn't say easily overcome, right? Like usually if we're self-sabotaging, it's because there's a lot of fear there. There's a lot of trauma around whatever this is, or there's a lot of, again, just our belief system needs an overhaul with how we view our capabilities and what we're capable of. So I just see some transformation happening for you this second quarter for sure, where you're really going to be forced to look at, can't blame it on the external that you're not moving forward in a way that you want to be moving forward. You have to take a closer look at where it is that you keep pulling, like the trigger is ready to be pulled, but you keep putting the safety back on. You see what I'm saying? Your soul is ready to go. Your soul's urging you. You're going to feel that compelling energy. But you have free will, so you can say no to it if you want to. But I would just advise that you really take a closer look at what is it that you are where is it that you're taking your own inspiration away when the inspiration keeps coming in for you and knocking at your door and saying, okay, we're ready for you, showtime. And you keep saying, you get the stage fright and you're like, I can't do this. You can do this. That's why it keeps coming in for you. And so whatever this is, and this could be across the board because it's a general reading. So it could be that you need to leave a relationship that you know you need to leave, but it's comfortable, it feels safe. And so you're stuck or you feel stuck. But really it's like you just need to put the intention behind it and make the commitment to make the change. So really, really strong energy coming in around that second quarter that's really asking you to look at where it is that you keep tripping yourself up, where it is that you keep saying no when your soul wants to say yes. The third quarter, again, getting very reflective energy here, like going within, following that intuition, following your inner knowing, following your own North Star. So what I would say is this is the time to take flight. This is the time to understand that you are the magician, right? You have everything you need at this stage to say yes to whatever it is that keeps coming in for you and to create what it is that you want to create. So, if you're waiting for the perfect relationship, the perfect job, the perfect consultant, the perfect whatever it is to step in and do this for you, it's not going to come. You are all of those things. You are the one that has the power to do that. And And this is going to be the time where you need to take an initiative. You need to say, where is it that I've been holding myself back? What is it that I want to do? Now, how do I need to do it? Now, you can pull from the resources of the external to assist you, right? But if you're waiting for someone to make the decision for you or to create whatever this is for you, it's not going to come. This is a path that you need to sort of forge yourself. You need to create it, and you have all the tools you need to be able to do that. So very powerful energy for you, very transformative energy for you all sevens in 2022. You just have to believe that you're capable of more than what you give yourself credit for. For those of you that have been really holding yourself back because of fear of, judgment or fear of failure or whatever the case may be. And there is no failure, right? There's just redirections. And those redirections are getting us to where our soul wants to be. So follow the reroute, right? Follow the redirections. And what's interesting is I feel like there's a lot of transformation happening, definitely the first 3 quarters of the year for you all, but in very powerful ones, but really helping you to step up and step out and claim what it is that you want and making it happen to build that legacy, right? Whether that legacy is simply for yourself. So we move into the 4th quarter, and this is beautiful energy. It's almost like the first part of the year has really been assisting you in stepping fully into your craft, into your passion, into this, whatever this is that you're trying to create. And now you fully sort of step into it where you become the leader. And this brings you an incredible amount of contentment and joy. And so it's like people start coming to you for your expertise. People are looking up to you, not in a way where you feel necessarily uncomfortable. It's just that they're coming to you because they believe in you. They know your value. They know that what you have to contribute and what you have to offer is incredibly valuable and incredibly rare, right? Nobody can offer whatever this is the way that you can. This is your gift, so share it. And again, we're in that energy universally of 6 energy where it's about doing things that assist not only self, but the community, the greater community. And I feel like you're going to really have an opportunity to do this. I do feel like it's going to be outside of your comfort zone, but I also feel like this entire year is helping you to step into this. So this is about working with other people. This is very divinely guided energy. So again, follow your soul, allow it to lead you. Even if it feels uncomfortable, very rarely does our soul take us places that feel comfortable. A lot of times it's so far outside our comfort zone, we just have to say yes to it and experience that uncomfortableness to realize that, wow, my soul knows my potential, knows, everything that I came here for, and knows better than I do, the ego, right? So the 4th quarter, I really see about heavily influenced by work, purpose, doing things in passion, working with other people, collaboration, other people really looking up to you for your wisdom, for the things that you can share that can really make a difference. And you having that confidence to be able to share that in a way that you feel good about, that you feel really, really content with. So I do feel like I said, I feel like this entire year is sort of pushing you to really step beyond that zone, really step beyond that comfort zone, really believe in yourself and understand that what you have to contribute is incredibly valuable. And there's also this level of really making sure this year that you are balanced and connected to spirit as well as to the physical plane, right? 7s are really that bridge between the physical and the ethereal. And so you need to make sure that you're connected to both, right? That you're not being overly critical, overly logical, overly practical, but that you're allowing the more mystical side of things to come in, the magic, right? To bring in the expansiveness. Because if we stay too grounded, if we're too practical, we miss out on way too much, right? There's so much more that's more expansive. Now, I will say, if you're on the other side of that and you're just too in the clouds and you're too mystical, then, like Mouse says, you're missing out on the finer details. So bring back in that practicality, bring back in that knowledge, bring in those more logical steps, because that's the beauty of the 7 is that you are the alchemists who can work with all of it. I mean, we all can, but you guys, this is like such a big part of your core to really incorporate both energies in a big, big way. And so I think you're going to have an opportunity to play with that this year in a big, big way. So hopefully this was helpful. Thank you all so much for listening. If you would like a personal report to look at your personal numerology to see what the year ahead holds for you, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.